All right, good evening. It is week 3. Let me get try to vaguely, I don't know, what am I trying to do? It's a good question, actually. Centering myself is hard because then I'm like, well, I'm committed to a posture at that point. So I'm like, am I leaning? Like, what am I doing? How am I, am I cool? Am I engaged? I don't know what I am. Anyway, so welcome. It's week 3 of our Magic Realm game. We have the Woods Girl, the Witch King, the Dwarf, and the Druid. Except the Woods Girl's dead. So we'll put her up there, but she's dead. And those are our scores currently. Obviously, the Woods Girl's score is not going to remain 3, probably. But she does get her points. She does keep her points until someone actually takes them, essentially, from her. Which would mean someone would theoretically have to get two great, another great treasure, or take, so something to keep in mind. Having said that, there's a big stack of treasures over here that she had, that someone could come and loot. So something to consider. But anyway, let me get those scores out of the way. So it's week 3 and it's day 15. And the first thing we have to do before we even talk about, so the wolf bounty is gone because it lasted 2 weeks. Or is it? Oh, geez, I didn't mark it. No, it's still up. It's weeks 2 and 3 is the wolf bounty, I believe. I'm going to take this week 2 off of here because we had the elf first and delivery. And there you go. Elf, delivery, and the druid's test. So yeah. So wolf bounty is still up. King soldiers is still up for 1 more week. And we have 3 more events to draw. So let's see what we end up with. The enchanter. That's just a hire. The goblin horde and banditry. So we have 2 kills and 1 hire. So let's put the enchanter up. So let's put the enchanter up first. Enchanter. And bandits. Done. Okay. 6/6, Deep Woods 6. So the enchanter is sitting in the midst of the Deep Woods. So literally with all those dudes. And he's only really relevant if you feel the need to hire him. It's $1 to hire. He costs $5 then, and you can enchant a tile for $5. So that's all right. Let's see what we got here. Goblin Horde. Random clearing. So random clearing is 10/3. Ruins 3. We have 5 axe and 1 sword goblin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a sword goblin. The one thing I love about playing in Tabletop Sim is that I have as many counters as I want, which is sort of fun. Ruins, what did I say? 3. Ruins 3. So the Goblin Horde is in Ruins 3. So anyone that kills one of these goblins will get a point once all of them are killed. Whoever kills the sword goblin specifically will then get one of these items rolled at random. Some of them are pretty good, actually. I don't know that they're great for this crew, since I don't know that they're great for this crew because you got 2 sort of medium weapons, which could be good. The coward spear is sort of useless, sort of. Its length 14 is really cool on in certain fights, and then the braggart's greatsword is okay. It's a greatsword with a 4 times, so it's no better than the dwarves' axe. So yeah, I don't really know that any of those are great weapons for anyone. I might need to retweak those at some point later on. Make them a little better. Nonetheless, if you kill a goblin, you get a VP, and then you can take one of these things. Banditry. So we got to roll. Where do we got to roll? Top 3 rogues. We put them where? Where do we put them? We put them outside the guard. So the bandits go here, and it's the top 3 rogues. So these guys. These could be easy picking. Oops, wrong. Could be easy pickings for someone, i.e. the dwarf, with his boys. I'd have to go see. So again, if you take care of the bandits, end of the day with bandits resolve, you have King's Justice, you defeat them for a point, and you can return to a dwelling for 10 gold. So that's good points right there. Intimidate, you could intimidate them, bribe them, or you could offer $10, and on a meeting roll of 1 to 5, they will join you. So, and those last until the end of the game. So it smells a lot like the dwarf. So if you look at the dwarf, he has Troll Slayer. There's 2 trolls. He's got banditry. I mean, that's 2 points right there. He could just score 2 points. And I think probably he's going to try to do that. The Witch King. So the Witch King popped Rescue. And all he has to do is kill our ghosts. The Druid has Big Game, in which he picked medium creatures. So he has company at ghosts. So just to mark who has what. He has company at ghosts. He has Big Game, medium creatures he picked. So both of these guys probably charge into here and take care of those ghosts and get their points. Although I think for Big Game, which is the big problem with Big Game, is that you have to return to a dwelling. Yeah. To tell the tale. So that's a good question. What dwelling to return to? The chapel probably is an easy one since it's super close. I think that's where I would consider going. So I think, and then the Witch King will just continue on and cap that bridge. So I think that we have everyone's sort of week vaguely plotted out. So the Witch King, how's he going to do this? I mean, he's probably going to assume we're going to assume he's fiery blasting to medium ghost. That should be a good fiery blast for him. He has an ogre buddy, which, don't get me wrong, it's not a great fight, but he should be able to handle a ghost. So I think what we're going to do is we will hide. We're going to alert a type 4 to make sure it hits. And then move. Then move to the ghosts. Done. So that is the Witch King's move. The dwarf, has a mini army with him, and so I think we're going to just do the deed here. I think we're going to wander up with these trolls. The trolls are not a great fight for. Trolls are not a great fight for most of our. Well, I don't know. Let's look. Let's look at how bad this is. They have 5/5. You know what? Actually, it's a fine fight for them because they cannot be killed by the trolls on the medium side, and on the heavy side, they will hit first. And they have to be not undercut, they have to be intercepted. So I think what we're going to do, very simply, is we are going to, we'll hide twice, and then we'll use our extra move and extra move to the trolls. Done. And then finally, we have the Druid, and I'm pretty sure the Druid is going to... So I think he hides... Well, keep in mind, the Druid also has a little bit of an easy time because he can run from these guys if he needs to. So I'm going to hide once. I'm going to search twice to read runes on this ring that I have. And then I'm going to move into the ghosts. Done. And that is it. So that's what we got. That is our day 15 written. And now it's time to execute day 15. So let's see where we end up here. 1. So we got dragons showing up. Okay. That could be interesting. By the way, our guard is following. If we don't say anything, the guard follows the dwarf. So he goes with the dwarf then. So Druid's going to hide. He hides with a single die. If he does, he's going to then search twice and then move into the ghost. So he is done. But let's get that. So he's going to read runes here. And now did we pull? We did. So we have the Scroll of Nature, all the Scroll of Nature right here. So let's pull it down to the Read Runes table. We have to roll 2 dice, but remember that with the bonus, with the extra rules for the Druid, we are effectively immune from curses. So that is probably the best power. Awaken spell. So he awakens another type 3 on here. He awakens sleep. Wow, that is a great spell for this. So how are we going to make this happen? I'm going to put this Scroll of Nature here, and I'm going to put these spells just like this, and we will make them slightly bigger. I don't know how well you can read these or not and their normal size. The good news is I'm not downscaling, so I'm actually just loading these damn gigantic videos to YouTube and letting it upscale them to HD. We're going to assume that this Scroll of Nature is active, by the way, and so now we have these. Now this is a great spell, by the way, because this is a type 3 0 chit. So we can use this to cast this spell at time 0. And anyone that it hits, it goes to sleep. All we need is gold magic in the clearing. The main issue comes down to there's really only one good place for this, and that's the deep woods, or these 2 woods hexes. Still a good spell. Not as impactful, maybe, as you might think, because we don't have the gold magic to make it happen. Let's roll our second search here. Oh, and we get a 6, so nothing happens. So these 2 spells pretty much go back to the bin. So the Druid is done, and then the Druid moves into the ghosts. The Witch King is going to hide what? Hide once, alert once, and move in. So let's roll the hide. 2 dice. He'd rather be hidden. He is. So he hides, he walks on in there. After he alerts a type 4 chit, and it'll be that one. And he is done. And then finally, our Dwarf is going to go with his cronies. And the Dwarf is going to walk in there, but he's going to hide 2 times, I think, right? Let's see. What did the Dwarf do? Hid twice. So let's roll it. 1 die in the caves. And he is hidden. So he's going to go in hidden with his buddy hidden into the troll caves. Does anything appear in any of these? So nothing appears in the valley. But here we are going to get something, and that is going to really change. That's going to change the universe a little bit. We're going to get smoke, and we're going to draw roar. Oh, that is a rough haul. So remember, each chit, oops, where the hell am I? Okay, each chit can draw once. Smoke C is going to draw this, the little dragon, Roar C is going to draw the big dragon. So now we have 4 monsters in this clearing. This guy is indeed very dangerous to all of the guard. So we should be a little bit careful. The trolls actually aren't because they're slower attacks. Like, these are equivalent, but this guy is 1 slower than this guy, which makes all the difference to the guard. On this side, can't kill any of the guard. On this side, he can kill all. That dragon kills every guardsman. So we're gonna have to figure out how to tackle that fight. This is the fight to tackle. So let's do the easy fight first. So we got 2 of these ghosties, and we're gonna go and sit on this guy's. So, remember, both our adventurers are hidden, so no one is on their sheet. The Black Knight, the Witch King is going to target both of these guys with a fiery blast of ×0. He's going to target that guy and that guy. Bam. And it's ×0, which sort of sucks for the Druid. The Druid is going to use his dagger, and he is going to, with a ×3 attack here. So I'm going to just put his attack on the Witch King's sheet, and he is just going to. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to put it down here, and he's going to target this guy. Doesn't really matter, but he's going to target that guy. The Witch King is targeting both of the guys by default, but his attack's going to be ×3. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, so let's see where these ghosts go first before anything else. And the Druid wants them to move, and the Witch King does not care. 5. So they're going to flip down, which actually is great for the Druid. It means if the Witch King does not kill this guy, the Druid is going to kill this guy because he will do light star damage. He has a negligible dagger, negligible star. Daggers are, every character has a knife. The knife does no damage but has a sharpness star. But you can overstrength it with a light chit to be light star. Medium damage, that kills a ghost. So what really happens now is Fiery Blast goes off at ×0. And more importantly, it is the longest weapon in this combat. And on round 1, it goes first. And so we have to roll. And everything but a 6 is going to do enough damage to nuke these ghosts. Well, and let's roll for each ghost to see if we flip them first. I don't think it matters, by the way. It does not flip, and this guy does flip. But the Druid's still going to hit him because he lines up. So there you go. First attack. Does the Witch King nuke the first guy? No, he does not kill this guy. That guy is alive. Does the Witch King nuke the second guy? No, he misses both targets. Wow, that sucks. These ghosts are the Witch King's nemesis. So Fiery Blast goes off. Now he rolls a 6. You have to roll a missile table on Fiery Blast. It does. So if we look here, it does light, star, star, star damage. But missile roll of 6 is -3 levels, which means it's light. You take away the 3 stars, that's 3 levels, and you do light damage. The ghosts are medium, so we do nothing to either of these. Luckily, the Druid steps out right after that and kills this second ghost. So the Druid gets him. 100% the Druid kills that ghost, and we're going to put that... you know what I should not have done? I should not have deleted the Druid's chit because it might actually be relevant. We're going to put that right there to show that the Druid killed him. So, okay. So now, very simply, we have 2 characters. They are both in the clearing. This ghost has to go on one or the other of their sheets. So on a 1, 2, or 3, he will stay on the Witch King sheet. On a 4, 5, or 6, he will go to the Druid sheet. 2, so he's going to stay right here on the Witch King sheet. So, oh, and we could lure. We could lure. But we didn't, so we didn't say it, so that's fine. So we randomly deployed. Good enough. Done. We could deploy. If we deploy, the ogre is dead. Ish. But the Witch King cannot keep this guy on his sheet at all. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to drag this over. So this is going to be this is our buddy sheet, right? So after random allotment here, and you really wanted him on this side, which is why he should have lured instead. We should have just known and should have just taken him. I think we were vaguely hoping he'd be on the Druid sheet, and maybe the Druid would just escape effectively. So we're going to pull this guy onto his sheet. This is the target. So what happens is once we deploy, so the order of operations is we lure, which we did not. We randomly deploy, which we did, and he went on the Witch King sheet. And then we deployed the ogre to the ghost. And what happens is as soon as you deploy a native or hired monster or controlled monster to onto a monster, the monster goes on his own sheet and the ogre goes on the sheet. And the last guy to deploy there becomes the target. So now the Druid can do whatever. So I'm going to copy this. So the Druid actually is going to attack. He's going to attack again with his dagger. He's like, well, I can get 2 the kills. Heck, at this point. And then I think, what are we going to do? I think we're going to play. Well, I mean, whatever. It's here. We're going to play. We're going to cast Drain Life, and we're going to cast it there. Well, wait, if he flips, he can't do, you know what? There you go. So if he stays here, we're going to hit him first. Done. So first thing is first, where does the ghost go? The ghost goes 2, so the ghost flips down to the bottom. Second thing, does the ghost flip over? No. Next, the ogre. Where does the ogre go? Because the ogre also has to move. No, he stays there. Does he flip over? Because that's also important. He does. Okay. So now we have to go in order of time and weapon length. So time, this is the fastest. These are the fastest attacks, but the weapon length clearly favors the Witch King because he has a length of spell. Spell trumps dagger. Dagger is, I think, a 0 or a 1. I think it's a 0. So this is going to go off first. It is going to hit because it undercuts him. If he'd have flipped, it would not have hit him. It undercuts, and it is a kill because it's a kill. Because that's what the spell does. And he gets to rest 2 chits, which he'll rest this one and that one. And then fatigue this one. The Druid does not get the kill. In this case, he gets 1 of the kills. So both characters are going to get a single kill. He gets 2 prowess. And he has killed a ghost. So he does... he needs to return to a dwelling. The Witch King gets 2 prowess for the ghosts. But he also does score rescue because rescue requires that you are in the clearing when it's empty of monsters. That is the case. So he has rescued this guy. We're going to delete that. We're going to bring this chip down. He's now his follower for the time being, along with the ogre who lived through that fight. We are still going to delete this, and we're going to drag these guys up to the dead pool up there. So that all worked out. He scored rescue. That's his fourth card, actually. And prowess-wise, he's up to 18, which is not bad. The Druid has a whopping 2 prowess, which is bad, but strangely enough, it puts him ahead of the Dwarf at the moment. You return the captive to his group if you wanna. We are not going to as of yet. We're gonna keep him for now. Pub crawl. Ugh, that is ridiculous, by the way. We are never gonna finish a pub crawl and on this map. So, there you go. That is done. And the Druid is done. He has his big game, but he does have to return to a dwelling to turn it in. The Dwarf now gets to go. Now, this is the hard fight right here. So I'm going to take all these chips, and I'm going to come down to the Dwarf's sheet. So I need a bunch of buddy sheets. So I'm going to drag 1, 2, 3, and we actually have a 4th one here. So we are just full of buddy sheets. Okay, so it's round 1. We are hidden, as is our whole cohort. So none of these guys are targeting anyone. The Dwarf is going to play a chit. He employed it. We're going to flip that weapon to time 4. We're going to play this tremendous 6. And we are going to target the dragon. That's who's coming over to our sheet. He's not actually on our sheet. We're on. He has not targeted us because this is an auto kill for the hidden dwarf. This is what he wants to fight. This is the kind of thing the dwarf wants to fight. So where does the dragon go? He goes 5, so he goes down 1. He doesn't flip because he's a tremendous monster, and because we undercut his 6 time, we do tremendous damage and we kill the dragon on round 1, and we are unhidden. Our weapon becomes unreadied. And now everything is going to come to our sheet here unless we lure it away. So now we have to really pay attention to what the hell we're doing. So I think we're going to lure both trolls. So I think guy 1 lures this troll. And guy 2 is going to lure this troll. And let's see here. I think the goblin, because he's a little bit more, what do you want to say, expendable, I think. Yeah, this is the bad side. Like, we don't want this to happen. Yeah, we sort of have to, though. The goblin has to be the one. The dwarf could take him. The dwarf could take him, with the caveat that we might take equipment damage. Let's not do the equipment damage. So no one's on my sheet. So the goblin lures. So that's the luring step. We have these 3 fights going on. This guy will not participate because if we deploy, then we have to roll, and it's very then possible that we are. So on this side, these guys are safe because the troll cannot kill them on this side because they're M4, so he only does medium damage. On the heavy side, their attack times tie. He doesn't undercut him. His attack time ties, and the great swordsman wins the tie with the weapon length. So on this side, the troll either misses or dies, and on this side, the troll hits and does nothing. But if we deploy, we then have to roll for everybody, and our swordsman could flip. And on this side, they are undercut and killed by the troll on their dangerous side. So we want to keep them here, and so we need to lure and not deploy, which means you only put one guy on these guys each. Because we have no one on our sheet, we can ready our weapon with a chit, and we can play whatever we want at that point. Doesn't matter. We'll play this chit there. And we're going to do this, and we are going to cover our goblin. Do we cover? Yes, we have to cover the goblin, because the goblin cannot kill this guy by himself. The goblin is simply there to take shots. So now we go down to each of these, and we're going to see what the heck happens. So first thing is, where does the troll end up? 1. So he's going to stay put. Does the troll flip or not? The troll flips on the dangerous side. So that's what we don't want. That's why we don't want these guys we don't want these guys to not have to roll and flip. He would be dead if he did. Second dude. Where does he go? He drops one. Does he flip? Does. So both trolls are on sort of the rough side. But that's okay, because I think we got this covered. This dragon, where does the dragon end up? Dragon ends up in 2, so he goes all the way down. Does he flip or not? He does not flip. So let's adjudicate the fights now. So this is round 2. Speed is the king. So both of these guys tie, but this weapon goes first because it is longer, and on round 2, speed and then weapon length breaks the tie. So he does heavy damage to the troll and kills him before the troll can kill the guard. So that guy is done. Over here, same thing. This attack is adjudicated first. He misses because he cannot undercut, but he also misses because he also cannot undercut. So that is done. Down here, well, guess what? He's going to miss because he doesn't undercut him, and then we all miss. Just like before. We're just going to leave it. We're going to leave it exactly as is. So we're going to do that. And done. So we have this guy to roll. We want a 1 or a 4. We get a 3. So he's going to go down to there. Does he flip or not? He doesn't. What about this dragon? 3. So he's going to shift down. And then does he flip or not? He does flip to his medium side. So once again, we're going to have all misses. He misses. He misses also. Done. Now that is the first round where nothing has happened. And because we went a round where nothing happens, if we go a second round where nothing happens, then the combat is over. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a move. We don't have to play a move, but we're gonna, because that's going to force us to fatigue. So there you go. This is round, let's see. On round 2, the guy died. On round 3, he did not die. So this is round 4, and we are fatiguing this round. So let's see what happens here. We're looking for another kill. 2. So nope, he's going to go all the way down the bottom. Does he flip? He doesn't. Let's see what happens in the goblins fight. Looking for a 1 or a 4. We get a 6, so he goes all the way down the bottom. Again, does he flip or not? And he does. Back to the heavy side. Nothing happens, but we have to fatigue. So we're going to fatigue, given the choice, as the dwarf. We have a lot of fights. We have a lot of fight chits. The dwarf is he can swing that axe forever, effectively. Now you could start getting fancy, and you could say, well, let me deploy everybody onto one of these sheets. And you may indeed be able to do that, with the caveat that since then everybody's going to roll, you do have that weird small chance of everything going awry. Typically it won't, but you do have that weird chance that that everybody misses the dragon and he gets a shot off and kills our guy here. Now he cannot undercut the goblin, so that is good. But so in any case, so we fatigued last round, so we now have 2 rounds to get this going here. So we're gonna put that guy up top just like that. We're looking for a 1 or a 4. I always try to put it so where a 1 or a 4 are the good rolls because that's just easy to remember. So he's there and does not flip. Come on, we're looking for a 1 or a 4, guys. New 5. Not happening. And he doesn't flip. Done. We have to fatigue this round. So I'm going to actually just put 1 down right now. And we're going to fatigue this round because we're going to play a move jet. What about him? Nope. Goes down there. Does he flip? He does. So he flips to that side. He is done. What about this guy? A 4. So he's going to line up. That's good. We needed that. That'll help us here a little bit. He doesn't flip over. Now what's going to happen is, again, who's first? He is first because everybody's a time 4, but our weapon like this 5 versus 0 and 2. So we're going to hit this guy and do the damage and kill him. So the dwarf racks that kill up. Now I could if I wanted to. Again, it's not a guarantee that the goblin doesn't get killed, but I could literally deploy everyone to the troll. Have, say, let's see. It would be one of those situations where it'd be highly unlikely, but still possible that the troll would kill a guy because everyone else would miss or hit the troll after the fact. Although if he flips to this side, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. We there is the smallest chance that the troll kills a guy. So the question is, so we did get a kill. So now we have another 2 rounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this. I'm going to put this guy here. I'm going to ready my weapon. So I had fatigue. I did already because I put that down. So there you go. So I'm going to put this here. And then that gives us just a higher chance that we're going to get this kill in the 2 rounds that we have to do it. So this is 3. So he's going to drop. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Does he flip? He does not flip. So he's going to hit this guy and do medium damage. Actually, he's not because we're fat. We are longer. And so we're going to kill him. So we're going to kill that guy and then that guy. And we are done. Very nice. So that was not a bad fight at all for Team Dwarf. No deaths, which is good. We even kept the goblin alive. We are going to get... So, the dwarf killed this guy, and he killed these 2 guys. So these are all multiplied. This one is not multiplied. So he gets 10. 5 times 2 is 20. Then 5 times 3 is 35 points. Plus an extra 5 is 40 prowess. That is huge. And that immediately puts the dwarf in the lead for prowess. And he's going to just swipe it right away from everybody else there. And that's good. The dwarf needed those points. In addition, he's going to score Troll Slayer. And if he goes to a visitor, so I'm going to put a... oh, darn it. Okay. Well, I'm going to copy this one and paste it. But I'm going to put this one as a trophy. And if he can return... he's going to get a potion of Troll's Blood. So I'm going to put this just down here and just note that we killed this guy there. It's going to be out of the way typically. And these guys all go to the dead pile. And that was just a massacre for Team Dwarf. They rocked it. So that's worth 40 points. So that immediately changes. That immediately changes the game. You know, the dwarf now scores an extra point, so he has 3 card points. He now has 2 prowess points, so he's going to be up to 5.5 points. Yeah, 5.5 points. So, and Troll Slayer's gone, and he gets to draw another card. Gray Source, totally useless for the dwarf at this point. All right. I mean, that was a very eventful day 15. Okay, so now what? Well, we're going to write day 16 now. So for day 16, I think the Witch King is just going to outright get out of dodge. 1, 2, 3. Now the only problem is the Witch King has also used a lot of his magic also. So that stinks a little bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to score bridge match. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to get to here. We're going to move and then move into the ledges. And then we are going to use our extra enchant phase and then our enchant phase and get another purple magic back just in case. And we are done. That's going to be our move. The dwarf, I mean, the dwarf is in great shape right now. He's going to go, I mean, and frankly, I don't think any of these guys can kill any of his men because they're all heavy great swordsmen. So I think this is an auto kill for the bandits or auto kill. So I think he's going to just get to it. I don't even think he's going to be hidden or anything. I think he's going to just get there effectively. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to 2 extra rests. So rest, and then he's going to do an extra move and an extra move to the bandits. And I think that is going to carry him tomorrow. The Druid, he's got his big game. And well, he does have to turn it in. So I think the Druid goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Does the Druid hate the order? He is unfriendly with the order. He can run from the order. Does he have a large treasure? I don't think he does. Yeah, none of these treasures are large treasures, which sort of sucks. But we could move, and move to the order, take their insult, and I think run away because those big old horses are slow on this side. And so he just runs when he needs to run. And I think that's going to turn in big game. So I'm going to write it down just so I don't forget. And the nice thing is he could actually choose a piece of light armor. So he actually gets armor that he can wear out of that. So that is sort of cool. And we are done there. So let's roll a monster roll here. The 4, so giants and trolls. And so the Witch King's going to go here. And then he is going to flip this shit. And that is it. And we got giants and trolls. We have to check to see if giants or trolls show up. They do not on that roll on the ledges. Done. The dwarf is going to go 1, 2. He's going to have he's going to actually have rested twice to bring that shit back. That shit didn't fatigue. And he's in the bandits right now, and he's fighting the bandits. Done. The druid's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He turns in big game. He's going to take a piece of armor, so he has to roll for it. It's light because he can't carry anything else. He's going to get a light helmet. All right, we'll take a light helmet. That's sort of cool. He does get another quest, by the way. And he gets 2, so he cannot double up on sacrifice. So done. We just toss the second sacrifice. He gets Mountain Pilgrim. Okay. Which means he asks to end a... He's got to visit these tiles. The mountain, the cliff, and the ledges. Okay. I mean, we'll see if that makes any sense for him to do. And he has done it. I don't think anything appears in... Oh, yeah, the chapel. The Lancers appear in the chapel. Which is awesome and crappy all at the same time, because I think the Druid likes the Lancers and he hates and does not like the Order. So I think we're done. We do have a combat and we have to roll for the Druid. So let's roll for the Druid first. So the Druid is on the unfriendly column. He's looking for really anything but a 6 to some degree. He gets a 3, so no deal. So perfect. So he's actually going to stay there. He's going to stay there for the night, and that's going to allow him, if he wants to turn in these cards. So we'll assess the cards here in a minute. Now we have these guys fighting what has become the most formidable army in the Magic Realm, which is the Dwarf and his cronies. So let's take a look. These guys can generate up to medium damage, because remember, we're armored. These guards are armored. So what that means is that sharpness star goes away. So he's going to do medium damage to him. You can't kill him. None of these guys can kill their respective guardsmen. So they can kill this guy because they can all do medium damage. So I think what we do is So what we're going to do is we're going to lure on... So first off, we're just going to lure. So this is how this works. So technically we're going to lure. So lure, and lure. Who do we lure? We're going to lure one of these guys on each. 1, 1, and 1. Done. Now we are going to... Well, actually we couldn't do that. We would have to lure with... We're going to have to lure with this guy, which is a bad move. Except, then we're going to deploy in the deployment step. We're going to deploy this guy onto here. So he goes onto his sheet. He's the target, and he becomes an attacker. And that's that. And because no one's on our sheet, we can ready our axe, which we're going to do. And then we can play pretty much anything to kill these guys. And we're going to play that, and we're going to play it just to try to get a kill off. We're going to play it there and try to get one of these guys dead. So that's it. It is round 1. Oops. The red die counts, because if I roll 2 dice when I'm supposed to roll 1, the red die counts. 2. So he goes down to here. Does he flip? He doesn't. So... And actually, I should just roll 3 dice for these and do both at the same time. So what happens? Well, he goes first and misses. He goes and he hits because he undercuts. His M3 is less than his 5, but he does medium damage. That doesn't kill the armored guardsman. Here, everybody has to roll. So the rogue first. 6. He's going to go all the way down the bottom. Does he flip over or not? He does. The goblin. Where does the goblin go? The goblin goes 5, so he just drops 1. That stinks a little bit. Does the goblin flip? Yes. Does the guardsman move? The guardsman goes to 3, so he flips down. So that's why rolling is always dangerous. As you can see, we all piled up in the same spot, missing this guy. So that's going to be misses all around. I mean, he's going to hit him for light damage. Pointless, but misses all around otherwise. We're looking for a 1 or a 4 here. We get a 6. That doesn't happen. He drops to the bottom, and then we roll. and no one flips. So, okay. Well, that was awkward, boys. Everybody missing. So what we're going to do, so this round, we either have to choose to fatigue or not, and we're going to choose to fatigue. So we're going to fatigue that T6 there on round 2. So where does this guy end up? He goes down here, and does he flip? No. Second guy. Where does the rogue end up? 6. So he goes all the way to the bottom. Where does the goblin end up? 1. He stays put. Where does the guardsman end up? 3. He goes here. Everybody misses again. Done. Bottom fight. 2. He goes to the bottom. Does he flip? Does he not flip? He does flip. Everything is... nothing good happens. Done. But we do have to fatigue, so we're going to fatigue that T6. Now we have 2 rounds again. So this is the odd round here, where we do not have to fatigue. So 4, he's going to stay put. Does he flip or not? He does. So he's going to hit first and do light damage, nothing, and he's going to then kill him. So the guard got 1. Down here, he's going to fall right into my blade, I bet. I can smell it. 1. No, he stays up top, up there, and we'll roll 1 for the goblin and 1 for the guard in one fell swoop here. And we roll a 6, so he goes here, and a 4, he stays put. This guard's going to kill him, and he is done. Guard killed 2. Last combat, the third one. 6, he's going to drop to the bottom. Everybody's going to miss down here. And he flips. Okay. Now we're going to deploy. So everybody's going to go to his sheet at this point. So what that's going to do is it brings the rogue to his own sheet, and it's going to we're going to auto kill this guy because now we've covered all 3 of these locations. There is nowhere he can go to be missed. And since we've already determined that he cannot kill him, no matter what side either of these guys ends up on, doesn't matter what happens, this guy's going to live. So we're just going to consider this a kill. And we have done that. So there you go. So we have effectively gotten rid of the bandits. We get 6 prowess for that. We don't get any more. The bandits do actually go back to, like, we just defeat them, and they actually do go back to the rogues. Heads hung in shame. Banditry. Yep, defeat bandits, 1 VP, return to a dwelling for $10. So the dwarf is going to get bandits, plus bandits. Gets another card, so he's up to 4 cards. And geez, and he's going to just, and he's going to stop at the guard for $10. So he just at the end of phase, pretty much. He's made good use of those dudes so far. Is that the end of the day? I think that's the end of the day. I think we are done with 16. Right? He did his enchant. He did his thing. He turned in big game. Oh, we do need to get him the helmet, the Druid. Let's get him the helmet. I think we did make this. So we'll pull the item bag out here. Yeah, so he has a light helm now. I'm going to put that right there. Yeah, so not damaged. Light helm. Which means, I mean, anything, anything higher than light, just it kills it immediately. But you don't die. You don't take the hit. So that's actually pretty good when all said and done. Oh, and I totally messed some shit up. totally messed this up a little bit. I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's literally 2 points, and I'm not going to redo it. But what I should have known is that, let's keep in mind, and this is hard. This is where you have to really pay attention. Playing 4 players harms me. So remember, both the Druid and the Witch King were here fighting ghosts. Well, keep something in mind. The Druid has the dragon essence, so he has a always-on magic source of purple. And the Witch King is melted into mist. So as soon as we came in, we would have melted into mist, and the Witch King could not have fought. He was not going to be able to kill either of those guys at all. So that drain and so on wouldn't have happened. Now, having said that, that could have been way more dangerous for the Druid. He probably would have run out of the clearing after the first round. Having killed that guy to get his thing. We're going to let it roll, a slide now, but we do have to pay attention. It's a little bit rough, to keep track of that, where that magic is. So it happened, and it's not a huge deal. It's literally 2 notoriety that we're talking about. So, okay, so let's get our day here. I mean, we're going to cross the bridge. That's absolutely what we're going to do. So we're going to cross the bridge to 2. So we're going to move to 2. First thing. And, I mean, that's going to get us bridge magic. So that will score us the bridge magic points, and we will get the float charm. And that's really cool because that's going to allow us to change paths on this bridge. It's going to allow us to change paths on this bad boy here in subsequent moves. So what do we have? We have giants. We have to do giants. We have to do a pub crawl. The pub crawl is not happening, folks. That is just not easier with the float charm than it is not with the float charm. And strangely enough, though these 3 dwellings look far apart, they're actually reasonably close, but this one is miles away. So we're not going to do that. So we need to get to a dwelling just to burn that card. But the first thing we're going to do is go here to get us to get that magic. And then what are we going to do? I think what we're going to do is I'm going to use the newly acquired charm. We have trinkets for the giants. And I'm going to want to get to... what does the pool have in it? The pool does have a couple treasures, right? It has 3. So now none of those will be small treasures. They'll all be large treasures. So that's a little clunky because strangely enough, I want a small treasure. I wouldn't mind the Imperial Tabard though, although I can't carry it as the Witch King. Unless I melt in the mist, in which case we can carry it. 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's going to cost us quite a bit to get it back to here. The flowers, on the other hand, we can carry because they're negligible. I mean, I am going to, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to move to 4 and then to 1. So I'm going to cross the bridge, and then I'm going to use the float charm. I'm going to move to 4, and I'm going to move to 1, and I'm going to fall asleep instantly right there. Done. And we're going to make our way down to here probably. We got a load of treasure to deal with, and maybe we can find something we can utilize. So the Witch King is done with his move. The Dwarf. So the Dwarf has literally cleared everything out. He is going to get his money. He's going to get paid. So the Dwarf is going to move to the guard, and that's going to give him $10. So there you go. So that's going to give him 10 more bucks. And then he's going to get out and move back to here, to 2. And then he's going to rest because he needs to rest. But then he is sort of done, actually, because now does he care about the patrol? He doesn't. So he's going to execute an extra trade phase in here. Because remember, he doesn't get any extra phases now because he's out, but he can do 4 phases, just no more moves than 2 because he's never in the caves. So the dwarf is done. I think the druid is going to, so we're going to have 1 trade phase with the lancers. And frankly, I mean, what do we got going on here? I don't know that I care enough about the goblins to try to joust the damn goblins. If I had any large treasure, we could sacrifice it here, but I do not have a large treasure. So that stinks a little bit also. The question is, at the end of the day, do I want any of these or do I want to throw any of them away? So the high pass is here. We could certainly get to the high pass. And how good is Mountain Pilgrim? So it's mountain, cliff, ledges. They're all together. So I think I'm going to keep Mountain Pilgrim. I would love to keep Sacrifice, but it does require that I find myself a large treasure, which I've not yet done so. I can now pick up the Imperial Tabard because I have the heavy boots, but I can't run from anything once I do that. And I'd have to walk all the way back to the altar to sacrifice it. I don't know how I feel about any of that, by the way. The Druid's the one I worry about in terms of what am I going to do to score points now. What are you going to do to score points? Strangely enough, that spider can kill that octopus. The fort doesn't have much left in it, though, so that's not a great place to find our 1 large treasure. Of course, we could also find the altar. We could also find the shrine. We could also get the monastery to pop. Either of those would also be sacrifice locations. That's, strangely enough, the one that I'm considering dropping. I'm going to drop sacrifice because I think of the 3, that's actually the hardest to make happen. And then we get a white source. Well, that is just bloody useless. But that's fine. We can just burn it. Pretty much. And in fact, that's what the dwarf's going to do tomorrow. Just burn that gray source. So, okay. I think we've written our day 17 for everybody. So we move the marker to day 17. We're going to roll day 17. We get a 3, so ogres, wolves, goblins, octopus. So the Witch King is going to move. He moves to here. He has completed bridge magic, so he actually gets all 3 of those bridges done. That's going to give him another victory point right there. So it's 5 points of cards. He's also going to get a float charm, which I actually think I've made a card for. A really washed out card. I'm not sure exactly what happened to some of these images on these cards, but it's super washed out. So he does get that. He's going to immediately use it, because you do get it sort of immediately. He's going to immediately use it to go here. So he has to roll now, and if he rolls a 6, it breaks. It does. So it breaks. He gets 1 use out of that object. So he is done. And then he goes here, and then he's going to immediately rest these 2 chits because of the Flowers of Rest. Done. So we're going to take Bridge Magic away. He does get a new card, which is Danger Sense. So he can alert at any time. That's a really nice one. That is pretty nice. So he is done. Does anything appear? I don't think so, because we're in the mountains. Oh, the octopus does, but the octopus is out on the board. The octopus is up here. So, no. Done. Druid is next. The Druid goes... Oh, did we actually write the Druid? I think we... wrong guy. Where is our Druid there? Oh, he's going to trade. We did not write the rest of his move. He's getting out of dodge at this point. So trades once, 1, 2, 3. He's going to go to the ruins. Which does strangely mean he's going to get jumped by goblins, but that's a different story. So we're going to trade once with the Lancers. I just yelled that into the mic. I apologize. Oil of Poison and the Ancient Telescope. I mean, I don't care about either of those. I'll roll for the oil. We are friendly with the Lancers. Oil's 3 times 3, 9. We're fine. We're going to leave that go. Then we move out to here. Now, remember, the Druids, the Hordes move, and they do in this case, and we're not hidden. So we're probably just going to run out of there, is my guess. Going to waste a little bit of time. We're going to go here to turn in the bandits. Going to give us $10, which we did. We're going to trade once with the patrol because they're here. They're neutral, but we might as well at least try it. I mean, and you could buy like a shield or whatever. Like, actually, those aren't. That's not a bad buy for the dwarf. We're going to look at these cards too, though. Is the Black Book and the Power Gauntlets. Power Gauntlets are really, really useful for the dwarf because now, you know, one of his better attacks is no fatigue. Whereas if you look, his H4s are 2 fatigue. So he could get that H4 with no fatigue on it. And I'm sorry I'm out of the screen here as I lean back. That's good. The other thing which is also good, by the way, is either of those armor pieces are just fine for him. I think we're going to go for the gloves, though. It's 7 times 7. And, I mean, there's no love lost between us and the patrol. We don't hate each other, but I'm sure they're jerks. They probably, you know, search his bags and stuff. The TSA of the Magic Realm. Let's roll on the neutral tape. Let's see if we can roll that, you know, times 2 or times 1. No, times 5, no deal. So fine, we're done. And then we get out of dodge. Then we go to here. And then we're going to rest 1 chit. And that brings us back to all healed. And we are done. And we burn the gray source. And if I recall, I wanted this guy's going to burn the white source. So these guys will get to draw a new quest. So he's going to get Spellmaster, so that's awkward. And he gets Ghost Hunter. So the Druid gets Ghost Hunter for his sacrifice. Dwarf gets Spellmaster. For his. And that's it. We are done. And that's the day, pretty much. So, do we have any fights? Yes, we have this goblin fight. Not being hidden, we're going to play the run. So, we're going to go here. We're playing this chit to run, so we have to fatigue a move. So, we fatigue this move, and we end up out here. I don't think we don't have a faster move. We don't have another move to do that. And so, we are done. We don't have any gold magic. I mean, you could try your hand at summoning. I would do that were I hidden. But yeah, not right now. So we are done with the day. I think that's it. Yes. Turn my camera off here and mute the mic while I blow. All right. So, I mean, that was day 17. So for day 18, I mean, the Druid, the Witch King is, I mean, there's no reason not to go to the pool. So the Witch King is going to, we're going to move to the pool. And I think what we're going to try is we are going to actually spend a day and we're going to search 3 times. We have some chits here. We have some followers. We're good to go. We're just going to, the problem is if we melt into mist, I mean, these guys are going to get their butts kicked potentially by, but I don't think, well, pretty much only a bat can show up. Yeah. And bats do suck, but so yeah, I think we'll stick with that. And the dwarf is going to move, so he's going to move to here. He's going to take his 2 extra moves to get to 1. And then to the scholar, right? So move to here, 2 extras, and then 1 more move. And that fulfills our, right? So he's going to move into the caves. He's going to extra move and extra move to 1. And then he moves to the woods. And he is done. I think that works because, and he can roll well where the Spellmaster is just to see, but I think we're going to burn that one as soon as we can too. Where is this Spellmaster we talked about? It's the Caves 5. Ugh, okay. Strangely enough, we have to get there. I mean, we could get there. I don't know that that's great, but we could do it. We could do it. Okay, and then the Druid is also getting out of dodge. The Druid has to go to 1 first. So he's going to move to 1. We are going to hide. We roll 1 die, which is nice. And then we're going to move here and then move where? We're going to move so we're going to go here, but then we have 2 ways to go. I think we're going to go this way. So we're going to go 1, hide, 2, well, 1, hide is 2, 3, 4. Going to go to Evil Valley 5. And that is it. So that's our day here. And this is what, day 18, I believe. We roll to see what's going to show. It is 1, so more dragons. Roll to see who's who. It is definitely the Witch King first. So Witch King's going to move here. And the Witch King is going to search 3 times. So we have to roll on the Goofy Magic site table. And what we're looking for is 3 sniff out treasures. Or choice. We get a 4 perceive spells. There are no spells here. Oh, that could be no 5 discover chits. So okay, to secretly look at the chits on the map. So he gets the pull effectively. So he actually gets to cross the pull off. So that's cool. And this is his 3rd search. He could search the pool now if he wanted to, or get grabbed from the pool. 5 discovered chits again, so that's not that useful. Does anything appear? No dragons here because you're looking for red, and we don't have any, and he is done. The druid goes here. He's going to roll a die and hide. He needs not to get a 6. He gets a 4, and he ends up there, and he is done. And then the dwarf is busting it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We do flip this. It's the large campfire in 4. And there you go. That is the dwarf's move. The dwarf is at the scholar, which I think means he can turn something in, right? Yes. So he returned to the scholar. He gets a potion of troll's blood, 6 phases of rest, instant, which is super nice. We don't have it because, again, we made half of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this trophy chit, and I'm going to shrink this down. And this becomes his potion. Because he ended at at this guy. He could trade with the scholar. The scholar does have treasures, and he is friends with the scholar. Scholar has what? 3 small treasures? You never know. Dwarf is done. That's it. That's our day 18. So now we're on to writing day 19. So let's look at day 19 for our... I think we... Search, done. I think for the dwarf... I mean, we might as well 1. So we go into there, extra move. And then what? A quest phase. So I think the dwarf is going to move, extra move to the spell master, spell guy, execute his quest phase. He's going to pay $5 because he has the money. And he's going to get a spell lesson, which is crazy. That's going to give him a victory point and a magic chit, which I don't care about, but I'm going to get one. So, and my camera's still off because I was wiping my nose, so sorry about that. And too much information. I totally understand that. So yeah, we're getting some points there. So done. And then finally, the druid is well on his way. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 there. And he'll have visited the ledges. So he's going to hide, and he's going to move, and he's going to move into the ledges, and that scores him the ledges. So I'll X that out for him. And that is it. We are good to go. It is day 19, ready for monsters. What is the monster on day 19, you might ask? It is more dragons, which we're going to draw, but remember, we peace with nature, so that's great. Dwarf is first. Dwarf's going to move. Quest phase, pay $5. So that's -5. And he has another quest point, actually. So good for him. Good for the dwarf. We should keep track of his gold because he does have 20 gold. His gold's been up and down. And he gets a chit. What magic chit might the dwarf care about? That is a great question. He does not have any items, so it's super hard to figure what might be useful for him. I would take then, if I were him, I'm just going to take something like a type 4, just because that's an easy one to take. You never know, might be useful. We'll grab the sorcerer, and he's got one, and we'll just steal it off of him. Nonetheless, it's an extra chit. You could wound that. You can do anything with it. So it's like XP in the bank, or like like an extra hit point or whatever in the bank. And he gets Ancient Scroll. Okay, which means that a visitor will buy a magic treasure off him for a higher price, and he'll get a point if he sells it. Done. Does anything appear in what is it? Dragons, right? Does anything appear in the lair? I think he's dead, right? Oh, he's not dead. Oh, wow. Okay, he's back. So this dragon is going to pop right there. Interesting. Druid. Druid's going to go 1, 2, 3. Is he hidden or not? Really is the question. He is hidden. And a dragon would appear, but as a smoke chit, remember, the druid does not draw monsters via those chits, and so he is fine, and he's marked the ledges off of his mountain pilgrim. And then the Witch King is going to search 4 times in hopes of getting effectively a 3 or a 1. He gets a 6, so that's nothing. That's 1 search. Oh, I hate when this happens. Two searches. He discovers chits, which doesn't do him any good. 3. Okay, so there you go. He sniffs out treasures. Oh, 4, actually. Sniffs out treasures. So he can pull the topmost treasure off of there. So he can either pull the topmost treasure off the pool, which case he has fatigue, or the topmost treasure in the pile, which is the Imperial Tabard, which is fine, but he can't carry it unless he does something else. So sniff out treasures. You can take the topmost card. You can take only 1 card. You do not look at the cards before you draw. He's going to draw the topmost pool card. And he gets the Flying Carpet. Ugh. Interesting. Very interesting. Wow. So there's 2 things there. One is he could dissolve his Meld into Mist and then energize this effectively and then use it to fly around. He now has a move chit. And it's a good move chit. It's a really good move chit. It's not quite as powerful as Meld into Mist in terms of escape power, but it does mean that he is able to then do things. He can enchant these purple tiles now and sort of own them a little bit, right? And I do like that a lot. But that doesn't work if he's not in purple. So if he goes anywhere but purple, he'll have to carry this thing. He's got to carry it. Now, he doesn't have to burn Melt into Mist to energize it himself. He can energize this with his and carry it around. So he's not totally. It's just that moving then without it is a pain in the butt. He's going to have to burn purple all the time to move this thing. I'm going to have to think about that one. So he draws that. He is done. I don't think any dragons appear here. None here. One there. That chip is gone because we have. And do we have? Trinkets, Pub Crawl, Danger Sense, done. Ancient Scrolls, done. Ghost, yeah. So we are pretty much all caught up. So it is now. We are writing. I'm sorry, day 20. So we have just a little bit longer to go here. We only have 2 more days at the end of. And day 21, we're going to have purple magic no matter what. Now, the thing with flying is you can't fly with these guys. So that sort of sucks. So maybe that makes the decision for us, is that because we can't fly with these guys, I mean, are these guys really necessary to our strategy? And the answer is, no, they're not necessary to it. It's fun to have them, but it really isn't necessary. So let's think about that momentarily. Either we are ditching Melt into Mist, we are enchanting as many purples as possible at that point, and flying. You don't have to enchant it. You only have to power it once the day, and you can fly around. So, alternately, you could just power it once, get yourself here, and land to sell it, pretty much. With the caveat that you have to land on the right clearing, because otherwise you can't move with it. Or you have to power Melt into Mist to move with it and then sell it the next day. So you could take the carpet and sell it 100%. In the meantime, you could. You know what we're going to do? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Done. I got this. So what we're going to do today, this is easy. So we're going to search 4 times again. And the answer is, if we find something else, we get something else. On day 21, we are melted into mist no matter what. And we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. End up back at the rogues, turn in our cards, sell all our crap. With whatever we want to keep or not keep, we can make the decision then. We don't have to spend any chits or anything. We just use the fact that on day 21, we're going to be melted permanently, or melted all day. And we'll just walk to the inn, hopefully carrying the flying carpet, the imperial tabard, and a bunch of crap, and we can score gold. If we sell it all, then we're going to have the most gold. And if we don't sell it all, then we can make the decision on whether we want to fly around with the carpet or not. Done. In the meantime, we can turn in pub crawl and so on. So I think that's an easy move for him. So that's good. Good to keep that in mind. The dwarf, not super fond of ancient scrolls as a thing, but we do want to kill this dragon. So I think we're going to do that. So I hate to say we're going to hide 3 times. We're probably going to hide 3 times. And then we're going to move to the lair. Done. And for the druid is going what? 1, 2. He's going to go 3. And where is he trying to get to? The cliff, and then the high pass, and then the mountain. That's his sort of plot. His plot is to go here to the cliff, do the cliff to the high pass, find the secret of the high pass, end up in the mountain. That's going to score him 2 points. So pretty much, and the other way to do it would be you could go to the mountains first. Maybe that's the way to go. But I think we're going to do cliff. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to end up in Borderland 1. And what we're going to do, though, is we are not going to hide. We instead are going to, now we should be, well, I shouldn't say that. You know what we're going to do? We are going to hide because 1, 2, 3, and we're going to hide. So we will hide first, and then we'll do a 1, 2, 3. And the reason is we don't know what's in the borderland. We don't know what's in the borderland. It could be a Borderland 1 could have, I think, the altar in it, and it could have any number of things that will be difficult potentially. For, it could have the lost city in it, and so let's just make sure that we're going to be safe, and we'll see what's in there first. We do need to get a little bit more magic going here, because we have these grays, and frankly, we have purple too, man. It'd be nice to do purple, and we need to get our other spells too. So that's pretty much my goal, is to get that done. And blah blah blah. Yeah, that's it. So day 20, bam. Did I just say blah blah blah? Yada yada yada. So on day 20, we're gonna roll the monster roll. This week went slow and fast all at the same time. Dragons again. So third week in a row, we got dragons. I don't think that's going to draw anything more for us. This guy's just following the dwarf, so it's not going to matter. Witch King is first. The Witch King is going to draw 3 times. So remember, we're looking for a 3 or 1. So that's where we're going to go. We're going to go 3 or a 1 here. So 1. Nope. 2, second roll. Nope. 3. Come on. Give something to us. That's it. 3. So we now get to pick either the tabard or this guy. Oh man. I won it all. The tabard is worth 17 more bucks to us. So that could be 34 bucks. Or we could get something from it's literally let's make a deal. It's do you take the 17 bucks or do you take what's behind door number 2? And the answer is I am going to I wish I was live streaming. I mean, no one will be watching, so I'd still be talking to myself, by the way. Having said that, I wish I was. Let's take the what's here, because it could be a magic thing, right? And that might be a better deal for us. It is the crystal ball, which we also can't carry, by the way, unless we. And then we get one more roll, because that was our third of the 4 rolls. We could roll another 3. We do not roll another 3. We are done. No dragons appear, and that's that for day 20. The druid is going to go 1, 2, 3. He is going to hide. Everything but a 6 is fine. He rolls a 6, which sort of sucks. It's Bones and the Lost City. Lost City is in 3, by the way, in case it matters. And now we take these 5 chits. That's one of the super clever things about this game, is those 2 locations, Lost City and the Lost Castle. All it is just more chits, but that then makes this interesting hex of doom or of great riches, or both. Statue in 2, patter in 2, so a lot of spiders there potentially. Flutter in 2. Oh, we're going to get dragons there. Patter in 5, and the shrine in 4. Now, nothing draws, because these dragons do not show up, because he's the druid. He doesn't pull from anything but these guys. And neither of them are rolled today. That does make this a little bit dangerous for him, though. So let's be wary of that. Simply because the sight chits will draw for the druid. I play with the slightly more dangerous druid. When we're playing with new players, we actually let the druid, if someone picks the druid, nothing pulls for them. The sight chits also don't pull, because that's the extended power of the druid. But for these games, I make the druid draw on sight chits. Makes it more interesting. He has to worry about some of the same stuff that we have to worry about. The dwarf's going to roll. He needs to not roll a 6. He has 3 shots. 1, 2. He's hidden. So him and his hidden boys go in to kill this guy, and nothing else appears because the lair's already done in there. So looks like we're done with day 20, and what we're going to do is fight this dragon. Now, if you remember, this dragon, if we're hidden, is going to be an auto kill. Why? Because we can play anything we want and ready this axe because this dragon is not on our sheet, and then we can put a tremendous star attack on this dragon at time 4. The dragon's not going to flip, so it doesn't matter where he ends up here. His head is not targeting us. That's the danger. If we're not hidden, this becomes a dangerous fight because all it takes is this very long, dangerous head to hit. And he does some damage and wounds the dwarf, etc., or kills one of his henchmen. But that's not going to happen here. We're going to hit him with T star damage, which reduces to T damage because of the armor, which kills this dragon. And he scores 10 points. 10 more prowess. So how many prowess do we have? We have 56 prowess. So we're winning the prowess battle. Let's keep that in mind. There is no doubt about it. I'm pretty sure. Well, it was either him or the knight. The woods girl had a shot if she would have done like the goblins, for instance, all the goblins in the horde or whatever. So that's dead and done, and we have won that fight. It might behoove the dwarf to draw the lair. He has 2 more treasures. Remember, he only rolls 1 die in the caves. That's huge for him. But I think we are done. Let's write day 21. So remember, we are purpled. So we're going to do 4 moves, and that's going to take us to the inn. When we are melted into mist, we can move T4, which means we can carry all our stuff. And we can use all the paths and passages, though we do not learn them. And our dudes are following us, and we assume that they can follow us as well. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to allow us to sell on day 22. So done. Plus, since we're ending our day there, we can drop our pub crawl. So that's good. Day 21 for the dwarf. What is the dwarf trying to get done? He's trying to get out of dodge. So he's going to go. So his options are to go out this way. Does he have any reason to care about here? The shrine is good for demons, so that might be useful to him. He has locate the altar, though, and we have not found the altar. What about 1, 2, 3, 4? What if he goes here? Because he can make this traverse. Now, this becomes super dicey for the dwarf because the mountains suck for him. He can only go 1 at a time. How do I feel about that? Where is this stupid altar? Oh, the altar's here. Done. There's literally 1 hex we have not found, and it is the altar in the crag. That is the crappiest possible location for the dwarf. He does have his boys, though, so they can carry him there, sort of. Okay. All right. That's fine. That is perfectly fine. So what we're going to do is... so we can go extra move, and be done, because we can't get to here. The altar could be here. There could be in the high pass. That is absolutely the case. The altar could still be in the high pass. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep with the cave thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna make a quick 4 move. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the caves. I'm gonna hide first. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. And where does that put him? That puts him in caves. 6. We're not going to go all the way. So we're going to move, and move 6. And the reason is, if the goblins show up, it's not a terrible fight if the goblins show up. I can probably handle the goblins. Do I want to handle the goblins if they show? There'll only be 5 of them. I have 3 buddies that can't be hurt by the axe goblins. You know what? We're just going to move. Move. To, I think it's 1. Is 1 that one? No, it's 1. So we're just going to bolt. If the goblins show up, there's going to be 5 goblins, because remember, we have 1 of them. These 3 can lure, so I will take 2 onto my sheet. I wouldn't do this to him, because he would be killed by them, because their times are going to equal. He would cancel them out. They would attack at the same time, and they'd both die. Whereas I can take this and just either not be damaged or not be killed. So that's a good fight for the dwarf. The dwarf's just going to suck it up. So he's going to make a run for it. The druid only gets 2 phases because he's going to touch a cave here. Now the shrine is of interest. Nope, it's 1 and 5. It's absolutely not of interest. It is of anti-interest. Of anti-interest, whatever the hell that means. But keep in mind that we cannot draw, because we're not going to draw with the sight chits or the warning chits. Nothing can go to his space if he just moves. If he moves, and let's say we roll a 5, then the imp pops here, which means he has to pay attention to the imp tomorrow, but not today. Same thing if the demon pops, he pops here. So we can just make that move, a naked move. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move, and we're going to end up in 3. And there you go, naked move, 3. That's it. It is day 21, so we're going to roll 2 dice, keeping in mind that stuff's going to either respawn. So guess who respawns immediately? The ghost. So we do have Ghost Hunter ready to roll here. Let's roll the 2 dice on dangerous day 7s. It's 2 and 3, so goblins are going to appear, and serpents and demons are going to appear. So a couple things happen. First thing is the soldiers come back. So the very angry soldiers return. The goblins, blah, blah, blah. The patrol returns to the board. Like that. Nothing here. Done. Okay, so that's that. Oh, and no, the octopus doesn't return. He is on the board. He does not. Oh no, he leaves. He's gone. He takes off. He's not controlled anymore. The last time this happened, he was controlled. The octopus also leaves the board. And that is it. That's what happens. And so now so the druid's going to go first. The druid is going to just move and move. And neither of these 2 chits draw, and the druid does not draw from the rest of the chits, so he is done today. The Witch King is going to move, and move. That is going to draw the patrol to the inn. And we are done for the day. And we're melted in the mist, so we don't even have to roll really for the guys to be pissy with us. And then the dwarf goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and the goblins appear. So we actually are going to get a little bit of action because the goblins jump the dwarf. I think that's it. There. And that's it there. So we do have a fight on The last thing we do in day 21 is fight. So, these guys have it all figured out. They cannot be harmed by axe goblins. The other goblins, potentially, but not axe goblins. The dwarf, they're on his sheet. He cannot be killed by axe goblins. That is absolutely the case. It's too bad we didn't get the gloves or whatever because so we're going to target that guy. And that's it. That's where we're at. Oh, and well, we will do one more thing. We're going to actually deploy. So we're going to lure with this guy and deploy with this guy. And so we're going to pull then. This goblin goes on his own sheet. This is the defender. This is the attacker. That way we have a 2 in 6 chance of killing that. A little bit more chance. A 2/3 chance almost of killing this guy. So let's roll all the goblins. First thing is, how do the goblins move here? Well, the goblins go. He goes down and he goes up. That's the worst possible case, actually. First goblin does not flip. The second goblin does not flip either. So that's fine. So our attack goes off first because it's the longest attack on round 1. We miss our target, which is down here at the bottom. Our weapon's going to flip over. This goblin's going to miss us because we ducked. We have the fast duck chip. This guy's going to hit us. He hits the armor. The sharpness star goes away because it hits armor. He does light damage against medium armor. It doesn't damage the armor, nor does it damage us because light doesn't do anything through armor, only on an unarmored target. If he'd have come here, well, he'd have missed us. So done. So that's it over here. Everybody is going to miss there. Here, let's roll for the enemy goblin first. The enemy goblin is going to shift there. Is he going to flip or not? He is going to not flip. I'm going to roll 1 die for each of my 2 guys, left and right. They both stay put. Does the goblin flip? He does. Does our other guy flip? He does not. So he is going to hit him by undercutting and do light damage, which is nothing. Everyone else is going to miss. Down here, it really just comes down to where does this goblin end up? On a 1 and 4, he's going to 1 or 4, he's dead. Otherwise, he's not dead. And then finally, down here, 3. So everybody is going to miss. The whole milieu of fighting here is going to miss. That was round 1, and nothing happened. That's reasonably unlikely that nothing happens, but nothing indeed happened. So we're going to dutifully play a fight asterisk also, just to allow us to fatigue on round 2. So this group, what happens? 6. So again, the worst possible case. Does the goblin flip up top? That's the important one. Does the bottom guy flip? Yes. Stinks a little bit because we'd rather him not flip. He's going to hit and do no damage again. He's going to miss. We miss. Everything's done here. Over here, we're looking for these guys to kill their dude. Pretty much. Get to it, boys. Kill your guy. 4, he's going to stay put again. Where do our 2 boys go? No one's going to stay put. So he's going to go down here, and then he's going to go down there. So they're going to line up. Does my goblin flip? No. Does my swordsman flip? No. Does their goblin? I don't know if I rolled their goblin. He does not flip either. Okay. Someone needs to hit their dude. It's a 1/3 chance every time. That's going to be a miss. He doesn't flip. And then the final one down below, which you cannot see the whole. Timeout, timeout. Let's go here. Let's get it all in view. Let's roll, see if he hits or not. 1 or 4. Nope, doesn't hit. So 3, he goes down here. And does he flip? Yes. All right. So I fatigue, and I fatigue a fight because that's an easy fatigue. I still miss, so I can still play that one, that chip. That's easy also. And I generally still put them in that order because it allows me to go 1 or 4, and it's obvious whether the good thing happens or not. Done. And this is round 3, and we're going to do the thing here. So let's see where we end up. 3, which means these two guys flip. We would rather this first guy not flip over, and he doesn't, and the second guy we no longer care, and he doesn't. So everybody's going to miss or do negligible damage on round 3. Here, 6. Man, at this point, I just assumed that... so he goes down there. Does he flip or not? He does. Now it's... Oh, come on. There we go. Goblin time. Well, goblin and dude time. The white die will be the goblin. He stays put. He goes to the bottom. So there you go. So that's a bonus. It doesn't matter whether these guys flip or not, actually. He does, by the way. And the swordsman does not. The swordsman's going to kill this guy. These guys do line up. He hits him. He undercuts him anyway. He does medium damage. He dies. The guard takes a kill. Down here, we're looking for a 1 or 4, and that's a kill. 6, so it's not going to kill him. And I will expedite this a little bit and not explain every time. So he misses, and then we come down here. We're looking for a 1 or 4, and we get a 3. So that's not going to kill him either. He doesn't flip. So that is done. And this is round 4, but it is the first round because where nothing happens because we just killed a guy this round. So we still have 2 rounds to kill somebody. What we're going to do is we're going to deploy to this sheet. So these 2 guys become the attackers. He's the last deployee. So we're just going to roll up the goblins. That's the goal here. We're just going to roll them up. Here we just flop these 2 like that. Like I said, the worst these guys can do is ping my armor. I'd rather them not hit me twice. That's bad. But I'm going to keep 2 of them on my sheet to hopefully ensure a kill on this sheet. For us, can we roll a 1 or a 4, please? 3. No, not even close. These 2 guys are going to flop. No flipping. Second guy flips. So he's back to his light side. Down here, the goblin ends up here. So we're going to roll for both of our groups here. So we're going to get a 6, which means he flops to the bottom and he goes up. And a 5 here means that he flops down 1. Flip. Does he flip? Does he flip? No. So none of these guys flip. And what happens is this goblin hits him, doesn't matter. This goblin hits him for medium damage and kills this guy. So that's our second kill. And then down here, we're looking for a 1 or a 4. That's a kill. Anything else doesn't matter. And it doesn't. And really doesn't even matter if he flips over. It only matters if we decide to take him on the dwarf's sheet. So another kill has happened. At this point, I'm going to deploy this guy here like this. Same deal. We're just going to roll like this. That brings the ease off the goblin. Really, it comes down at this point, this goblin can't even damage his helmet now because he's going to have to line up. Our times are matched and our axe is slightly longer than his axe. So Now it just means how often you're going to have to fatigue before everyone dies. We're not even going to get a wound or anything like that at this point. So someone was killed last round, so fortunately, we have 2 rounds. Where does this goblin end up? He ends up 6, so way down at the bottom. Our 2 stacks, where do they end up? Ugh, they stay exactly where they are, so that's going to all miss. I'm not even going to roll. I'll roll for the goblin because it matters for him. He flips over, just in case. In case I want to pull him to the dwarf sheet. 3, so he's going to go here. And doesn't flip. So, and then what happens? I'm sorry, I didn't roll what happened up here. I was so excited to roll down there. Let's roll what happens up here. 3, so he's going to miss him. Does he flip or not? At this point, it doesn't even matter, and he is done. So that is round 1 where nothing has happened. So now the dwarf is going to have to fatigue to keep the combat going, and we're going to fatigue. So we're going to actually take this guy and fatigue it, and done. So let's roll for this goblin. 1 or a 4 is a kill. Nope. 5. Does he flip or not? He does. So no kill, and he flips. Where does our goblin go? He goes 2, so he flips all the way to the bottom again. And now we have 2 1/3 chances, or actually a 2/3 chance. So this is a 3. So these 2 swap, which is annoying as heck. But this guy flops to the bottom with a 2. So he's going to hit him and kill him. So that's the 3rd goblin kill here. And now down here, 1 or a 4, and he's going to line up. So now everything has come up dwarf. And now tomorrow, this next one, we're going to deploy everyone to this sheet like this. That is going to be an auto kill because, again, since he cannot kill him, these guys are guaranteed to, they fill up all the boxes. And so we're going to get 5 goblins dead. They're worth 1 point each because we didn't kill any of them. So they're worth 5 prowess. And that does bring us to 61, though, which is a darn good showing for the dwarf. And really, really, really shows you, how good those guardsmen can be with our dwarf. I mean, they're just tearing the board up. And some of those fights the dwarf could do on his own, but the goblins are dicier with the dwarf alone. Those goblins are dicey. With the guard, not even a thing, right? They take so much heat off the dwarf that it's not even a thing. And with the extra goblin, it was all good. So let's look at scores now. The Witch King has 18 prowess. He has 16 gold still. He has 5 points in cards. He is, so that means 18 prowess is enough to score a point. 16 gold is not enough to score a point because I think both other characters have more gold than him. So he has 0 gold points now. The dwarf is going to have 2 gold points. The druid is going to have 1 gold point. Great treasures. Still the woods girl, quote unquote, wins great treasures at the moment. That's weird because she's dead, right? And the druid gets spells. So let's look at the scores here. So, Witch King has 5, 6 points, and he ends up with 6 points, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he gets 1 extra point for his prowess score. Done. So he ends up with 6 this week. The dwarf, let's look at the dwarf, because the dwarf has 5 points in cards. He has the most prowess. He has the most gold. He has 9.5 points right now. So he is kicking it right now. And then the Druid is not doing terribly either. The Druid has, he scored a big game point. 1, 2, 3, 4 points in cards. So the Druid has 4 card points, not 3. A point in gold. So that's 5 points, 5.5, 7.5 points. Those are our scores at the end of. So she actually is going to end up with 2 points, which is going to actually be 0 because of the death. So we'll put a little asterisk after her score there. And so what we're going to end up with is the Dwarf has 9.5. The Druid has 7.5. The Witch King has 6 points. But the Witch King is going to sell 30 plus bucks worth of treasure the next day, day 22. So if you look at that, he's going to then steal the 2 gold points one from the Dwarf and one from the Druid. So all of a sudden, he's going to have 8 points. The Dwarf will have 8. So it's interesting because that last week, those scores are going to super shift right away. So I think that's it for the night. Thank you for watching. This was a quick week, but it was still 2 hours long, if that makes any sense. A lot of fighting, like a ton of fighting. The Dwarf and his little set of cronies just, gutted the realm, right? And so when we come back for the last week, we're going to draw 3 more event cards. These 2 event cards, by the way, go away. So they are done here, so we can toss them. The Goblin Horde stays till the end of the game, and we'll have 3 more, and these are the last 3, and that will sort of tell us where we're at. The Witch King will get rid of, so I will say one thing. Let's just get rid of Pub Crawl for the Witch King right now so we don't forget, because we're right here. And he gets Natives Arrive, which is sort of crappy, but we can choose a group of natives and put them anywhere they could show up on the appearance chart. So he'll actually probably play that to get the company in the inn so he can talk to his buddies. So he'll probably play that. I don't think anyone else can turn anything in. And that's it. That's where we're at, guys. So thank you for watching. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.